If you combine two Captain Rex's Y-Wing microfighters, what do you get? Well, you get this, the ultimate Captain Rex's Y-Wing, and it uses almost all the pieces in both of the sets. The build is extremely detailed, so let's take a closer look at it. Starting with the front of the build, I designed these double barrel weapons. They are already like that on the smaller build, I just made them longer. And then around that, I tried to design some of the angles that are on the smaller build. It was a lot more difficult to do because of the piece limitations of just the two builds. You really need to use your pieces wisely. And this was definitely the most challenging part of the build. I even put some stud shooters down there for engine design. And I also used two of these weird A-shaped pieces to create the cockpit outline, which I think looks really cool. Taking a look inside the cockpit, I used two control panels to create this design here, and I really like this. I never thought of combining control panels like this, and I actually think it looks better than just the normal one. It looks more accurate to what you would see in Star Wars. Now, the set is not only for display, you can also put Captain Rex in the Y-Wing. The cockpit does have space so he can sit there, and he looks pretty good while in the ship. It definitely isn't completely minifig scale because he is way too high up in this ship, just like in the microfighter. And there's also no cockpit glass, except for these two panels in front, so it does still look a little funky. Behind Captain Rex, I have more stud shooter detailing. I really like using stud shooters for things that they aren't supposed to be used for. I think especially with the newer ones, they do have a sort of Technic design, so it's easier to use them in these situations. The back of the build has a lot of that same design you see on the smaller model. I just basically times 2'd it. And this was actually really difficult to design, I think, because what I was just doing is I was doubling the length of the build. I wasn't really doing the width, but for the back, I decided to do the width, so there was not enough tiles to actually tile off like you see on the smaller set. So I kind of went with a different design where it connects to the cockpit area. Taking a look at the engines, they are basically the same thing as the smaller one, just a little longer. They still do use the pink piece, and I think that really adds a lot to the build. The bottom of the build is nothing interesting, but it is all flat, so it is pretty easy to slide around. But when you're displaying this set, you will never see the bottom, so I don't think it really matters. So there you have it, guys. That's my ultimate Captain Rex's Y-Wing, made with two Captain Rex's Y-Wing microfighters. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.